Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to the Six Figure Morning Show. Gonna get this thing cracking. I think we're at episode 3. We ain't even made enough episodes to act like I don't know which one we're on, right? Oh, lying bastard. Good morning, guys. Good morning, and welcome to the Six Figure Morning Show. We're on episode 3. Man, we had a great question in the comments. I love it, and I haven't been avoiding this, but I knew eventually it was gonna come, and it but my channel is predominantly geared towards people below six figures, which I'm normally talking to people, in the $35,000, $50,000 range, maybe 65. And I'm just trying to elevate them and get them up to 75 and 85. Because when you're at 35K a year, when you're at 35,000 a year, 35,000 a year is your typical Walmart employee. And I'm just trying to level them up to where, because getting from 35 to 75 is life changing. You guys know it. You have to work harder for it, but it's life changing for you and your family. And it's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. Like I told you guys before, just to go from 35 to 75, that's your floor manager. That's your basic first line supervisor. You're getting paid 75 grand a year to snitch on people, to make sure they're on time, ain't out in the parking lot doing things they shouldn't be doing. Like you're 75,000 a year to be a snitch, man. I told you guys that, to be a snitch. But we had a great question in the comments. Let me get to it. It said, can you do a deep dive on a 6-figure investment split? Stocks, cash, gold, silver, real estate. Your split and possible alternatives to your split. Scalability. Will it work for 200K, 10 mil, or if not scalable, the adjustments that are needed as savings go up? Thanks, Robert. And you're welcome. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Still a little sick, got this crud going on. So I'm going to run that question real fast one more time. Can you do a deep dive on a 6-figure investment split? Stocks, cash, gold, silver, real estate. Your split and possible alternatives to your split. Scalability. Will it work for 200K, 10 mil, or if not scalable? The adjustments that are needed as savings go up. That comes from Tony Fratt. Tony Fratt, I got you, man. And I had one more question in the comments that was very similar. And we're going to tap into this too. Do you believe in other markets it's good to buy do you believe in other markets it's good to buy rental properties, or do you think it's best to wait because the markets are high? I know you mentioned Detroit and St. Louis, but just want your thoughts. When I get to another 100K, I'm probably going on strike. Okay, I'm going to tap on that too, man. Deep dive on a 6-figure investment split. So come close. Let me tell you. Are you listening? Diversification's for pussies. I know you ain't gonna like what I'm about to tell you, man. So listen, I'm gonna assume that if you're talking 100K, 200K, I'm gonna assume that you've done your due diligence. I'm gonna assume you've done all the pre-work. All right, so let's just run a couple scenarios here. If you're at $100,000 right now, liquid, and you're sitting there already, I'm gonna have to assume that you're either debt-free, or that you're debt-free with your 10K emergency fund, or a hefty emergency fund that's comfortable for you and your family. You already know your basic survival rate. I'm going to assume you've touched all the bases. If not, then I'm going to assume you know what you're doing if you're not debt-free, because at 100K, if you don't know what you're doing, I'm going to sit on the money. I'm not doing anything until I educate myself, because this is where you make or break. This is where, because it's too hard to come by. We discussed this before. It is too hard to come by money. That's why I don't deal with business partners. That's why I watch who I hang around. It is too hard to come by. I'm having to trade my money. I might have to trade my money. I'm having to trade my meat, my money, energy, attention, and time to get money. So I'm not fooling with people that could potentially make me lose money, because it's too hard to get back. So now that that's covered, I'm going to have to assume that you've covered all your bases and you're sitting at 100K and you have an emergency fund. If you're sitting at 100K and you have an emergency fund, listen, even if you're sitting at $250,000 right now at 250, you don't have any money, man. You got 2 fists full of money. You know what I'm saying? If you got 250 grand, you literally have 2 fistfuls of money. You don't have any money. And I know to you it's a lot. To me, it's a lot. To other people out there, it's a lot. But in the macro grand scheme of this world, it's not. If you're sitting on 100K cash right now, 100,000 cash right now, that's 2 cars. You get me? That's 2 new trucks, man. 2 new trucks. And I tell my son all the time that 100,000 is not enough. It's a starting point, but it's not enough. Okay. And the reason I say it's not enough is because 100,000 will get you started, but it will not allow you to finish. Okay. Bear with me. 100,000, you can start building a house with $100,000, but you're going to need another 100 to finish. Okay. That's why if you have $100,000, I would not diversify anything unless you have already, excuse me, there is no unless, I'm sorry. I would not diversify anything. I'm in this to win, guys. I'm in this for life. I'm going to die on this road. Why do you think I tell you stories of people like Thomas Durant? I mean, do you think Thomas Shelby, you know what I'm saying, had his 401k Roth IRA? Of course he was diversified, but he was a billionaire. I know it's a show, but I'm just saying. So when you get a massive amount, yes, you want to diversify because you have to do things to protect that wealth. But at the bottom, at $100,000, $250,000, you are still at the bottom. You are just now starting. You have to have 100,000 is where you start to play the game. You're just now getting on the board. They just now let you in the room to listen. They don't even want you to fucking speak at $100,000, at $250,000. You need to be over in the corner shutting up and listening, because they're not even going to let you pull up a bar stool. Guy, you're standing. Okay, they just allowed you to get in the room because they know you're serious. They know you've been working hard. You want it. So you're in this room now. You're in this room with me, and I'm sitting there telling you $100,000 to $250,000 is not enough. So what do we do with this money? How do we grow this money? So hands down, run this scenario. You got $100,000. You've taken care of all the back end, emergency fund, everything is set up. I'm going to start looking for, I told you before, single family housing, 1,000 square feet, single family housing. In the late 90s, early 2000s, they started building the Habitat for Humanity program all over the United States, started building these houses. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, or go find older homes. Older homes come with more problems. But the fastest way to grow this money is to start flipping real estate. And it's to start flipping without the banks. So if you have the $100,000 right now and you've done all your back end, the fastest way to grow it is to start flipping without the banks. The reason I don't want to use the bank is because I don't want to be bothered with the debt. I don't want to be bothered with the interest rate. I don't want to have somebody else looking over my shoulder. I don't want to be bothered with none of it. I'm using my own energy, my own money, and I'm going to flip it. I'm not looking for other people's money. OPM, how to get, no, I'm not looking for that bullshit. I am flipping mine. I'm going to grab this house for $30,000, $35,000 because it's been sitting there a year vacant. Grass has grown up. The city don't want to deal with it. I might get it for less, and I'm going to go and I'm going to dump $35,000 or $40,000 into it. And there you go, man. And then I'm going to resell it. And once I resell this house, I mean, typically you're probably going to pull $25,000 to $28,000. So you're making roughly 25% off your money if you have to invest the whole thing. And that is after taxes and realtor fees. For anybody in the comments, I'm not going to sit there and pull out pen and paper and do math, but I'm going to fast math. I'm going to purchase the house for $50,000 or less. I'm going to rehab for $50,000 or less, and I'm going to sell for $150,000. Okay. If I spend the whole 100 on the purchase and the rehab after taxes, I'm going to get roughly a $28,000 return. Okay. That's going to be taxes and realtor fees. I will roughly get around $28,000 returned to me. The reason I'm selling for $150,000 and not trying to get $200,000 or $250,000 is because I want the house gone. I do not want to deal with the holder's fee. Okay. I do not want to have to deal with that. And I used to sell weed from St. Louis to Tennessee. And the reason that I was so good at it years ago when I was younger is because I would sit back and I would undercut everybody in the neighborhood around me. If I knew this guy was doing it $1,500 a pound, I was selling them for $12,000. You get it? I wanted the shit gone. I wanted the money, and I was off again to do it again. And so I hate to tell that story, but it is. And so that's exactly the same thought process I take with real estate. I don't want to be stuck holding the bag. I don't want this house. I want it gone. I want it out of my life. And so I don't want to be stuck making the monthly payments. I don't want something might happen. Now I got to get the insurance and all this nonsense. I don't want to be stuck with that. I want it gone. And so I'm roughly making $25,000 on my money. That's what I'm doing with the 100K, and I'm going to grow it. Now, once I get to 250, don't quit your day job. Do not quit your day job at this process. And once I get, again, man, I'm not diversifying anything. I'm a little diversified with gold and silver and cash. Yes, I am. But that's I'm more of a hobbyist. I like gold and silver. My grandfather had it. It's been part of my life, my entire life. So I also have guns and bullets, like I'm more of that kind of guy, but I'm getting my cash heavy. I'm not diversifying anything. So once I sit there and I've flipped and I've gotten myself to say 250 now, I'm going to pull 100 back because I've been homeless before and I need restart money in case something bad happens. I'm going to, out of that 250, I'm pulling 100 off the table. 100 is going in the safe to be forgotten about and never touched again. Now, I will always know in the back of my mind that my 100 is there and that if I see a major investment and I need it, but it's got to be legit. It's got to be the most legit investment in the world. But if I see a investment and I need that 100, I will go back and grab it, but that's highly unlikely. And you'll know when it's time to do that. So if I'm at 250, 100's gone. 100's coming off the table. And then I'm going back to play the game with 150. I got 100,000 safety net, emergency fund, back end investment, whatever it is that I need it for. I'm moving forward with this 150 and I'm getting that 150 back to 250, always knowing that I got 100,000 sitting there in the safe, comfortable. Nobody knows about it. It's mine. It's there. And I'm going back to do it again to get myself back up to 250. Now, I'm playing the game. Now, once you've gotten yourself to 250, after you've just done everything that I've said, once you've gotten yourself to I'm telling you, the way I play, I don't play with a scarcity or a scared mindset, but I'm not stupid. I was stupid. I told you, I've been up top twice. I wasn't there long, but I've been up top twice, and I'm on my way back up right now for the third damn time. My first time, I was stupid. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything. I learned every hard lesson right then and there off of my own stupidity. My second time, my downfall was caused by other people. I learned every lesson right then and there about the universe. And once you start creating more for yourself, everybody around you is coming for it. Everybody is going to hate you. I don't care who you are. Once you start becoming some form of public limelight, I don't care how much you give. I don't care how nice you are. I don't care how sweet you are to people. I was giving so much away to the homeless. I was giving so much away to the black community. I was buying kids bicycles for Christmas. I was giving out freaking clothes and all kinds of shit. And all I got was rumors and lies and just hatred about me. So when I see celebrities going through stuff like that, I completely understand it, because then it's like Dave Chappelle said, when a hero stumbles, the cowards rejoice. When a hero stumbles, the cowards rejoice. Dave Chappelle. So when I fail a second time due to bad business decision, job loss, and child support, it was a perfect storm. A freaking trifecta left me with nothing. Bad business partner, job loss, and child support. Wham! All at the same time. And COVID happened at the same time. So whatever you call fours, but hell, it was a perfect storm for me. And when that happened, I watched all those people I took care of, all those people. I was paying people, helping people, light bills, this, that. Robert, I need help with my rent. Robert, can you help me with the lights? Robert, all those people disappeared. All those people started talking shit about me, pointing, laughing. So this is where my mindset comes from, guys. I told you, I've been up to the top twice. I'm going back for a third round. So once you get yourself to 250, you've scraped everything off the table. You got your emergency fund, you got your 100 grand and everything, and you're sitting there and you've built your way back up to 250. Once I get to this level, I'm going all in. I'm going to find, this is what I'm going to do. This is what you should do. At 250, I am not thinking about cash, gold, silver. I'm not thinking about anything. Real estate, yes. Stocks, for me, no. No, unless you hands down, it takes too long. And unless you got some real gumption and you're planning to play that game, I'm not messing with stocks, man. I'm old school. I need something I can control. I like the controllables, not the uncontrollables. The stock market is uncontrollable for me at 250. Now, if I was at 250 million, that's a whole different ball game. But at $250,000, the stock market is an uncontrollable. I don't mess with it. I mean, you're freaking gambling. You're playing, unless you got some real insider information, you really know your do's and don'ts, and you really cross the T's and dotted the I's and all that old shit, by all means. But for me, no, stock market is no, it's a no-go for me. Not at all. I'm not even interested in anything. I'm not interested in ETFs, but that's a slow process to growing this money, and you're going to have to go back and live the life. So I think that also, let me revert back, that you need to decide what type of life you want to live. It sounds like you're trying to grow. So that's why I'm talking to you like this. Forget the stocks. Gold and silver, sure, if you want to take the 100 that we tucked away and you want to diversify that into gold and silver, that's what I did. That's what I did for myself. But I told you I like gold and silver. I like to play with my coins and stuff. I like it. I'll show you guys some of that at a later date. So gold and silver for sure, if you want to, but you need to realize once you put your money into gold and silver, it is dead in the water. Yes, it goes up, but I'm never going to sell my gold. I basically stack it for my kids. I'm never going to sell my silver. I stack that stuff for my kids. It's a guaranteed way for me to know, no matter what currency change, because gold and silver will always be there. No matter what the world does, my sons will always be able to take a silver eagle or anything, and a gold eagle, anything, and take it and trade it for some form of currency, no matter what's happening in the world. And so that's just something for them to have. That's a collection. I enjoy it. It's not for me to resell. I would if I was bad. I'm talking, doing questionable things bad, I would sell it, but I'm not there. And I don't plan on ever going back that way. I'm in this for life. I'm going to die on this road. You guys are going to wake up in 30 years and you're going to either hear a great story about Robert Edson, or you're going to hear a tragic ending. You know what I mean? So it's you're going to hear that, hey man, this dude made it to the top of the mountain, or this dude froze to death at the bottom. So I'm serious, man. I know I'm laughing, but I'm serious. I'm in this for life. I'm not playing games. I'm here for life. So gold, silver, yes. If I want to just diversify my 100K, my savings into something, $50,000. Honestly, man, if you're going to do 25,000 in silver, 25,000 in gold, I wouldn't even buy any more gold and silver for a while, and I'd keep the 50 in cash, something like that. Goodness, I wish I'd get over this mess. And then, so sorry guys, sorry about that. And then, so we've done all our due diligence. I'm gonna jump back on topic, and we're back to our 250K. We got 100 in the safe. We're back to our 250K. This is where you lock in. What do you want to do? At this right here, you've got a base. You have a solid foundation. My foundation right now looks like a little over 100K, guns, bullets, food preservation. I'm a prepper. So I have the food, I have the cash, I have the freaking gold, silver, I have the guns, the bullets. Like I've been at this for 8 years. I've built a solid base for myself. So I have a solid base, probably worth, it's over 100K. It's over 100 grand. So and that's a base. That's a base. That's a solid base. Dead ass. That's a solid base. And so once you've done what I just told you to do, you have a solid bottom. Your foundation is legit. You can build from there. Now you've worked your way back up to $250,000. You can do all this in a couple years. So I don't think this takes too long, because once you guys understand, once you start playing with 100, 150, and $250,000, moves get so easier and faster to accumulate money. It's easy. It's easy. You take that, like I just said, do what I told you to do in real estate. You're seeing $25,000 returns off one flip. And if you got gumption and drive, you can, I could pull 2 flips a year, just me alone. And that's me being easy about it. That's easy. I know guys that are doing like 1 a month. You know what I'm saying? So, people work all year for $25,000, $35,000, and you just flipped a house. You project manage it and outsourced all the work. So when I talk about flipping houses, I do not do the work. I hire companies to come in and do it. So that's that. We can talk about that at a later date. But back to this, you got 250K already saved up. You've made your way. Now, what do you want to do? You've built yourself back up. What do you want to do? Because now you got a legit foundation and you got 250 grand. You're ready to play, man. You're in the game. Hands down, in the game. That's where you want to be. That's it. So what game are we playing? Are you going to play the business game? 250,000 is enough to start a legit business. You can start a septic company. You can start a freaking electric, you're going to start small, but you're going to be legit. legit small. You're going to be hometown business hero. You know, what do you want to start? What do you want to do? 250,000 is almost enough to get you I believe you can start a small gas station with 250 grand, and gas stations have great returns on their investments as long as they're in the right area, in the right town. You know, a Shell gas station probably makes $300,000 a month. A small gas station in the right part of town, in the right area, right town, right community, the whole wop. You know, you promote it right, you keep it nice and clean, make you good return. And 250 grand can do that. Do you want to get involved in real estate? I mean, at 250 grand, man, you could flip. Or at 250 grand, you can go find, you know, high-end doctors and lawyers that are trying to do the same thing you're doing. And you might even be able to find them in the comments below, and you guys can compile your money together. Everybody, if you find, say, 3 other people with $250,000, now you got $1 million. Let's go take that $1 million and start building an apartment complex. We're going to have to borrow the rest from the bank, but once we get this ball rolling, the bank's going to see it's a no-brainer to invest, and they're going to give you the money and let you finish the project. They're going to take their interest and shit off top. You and your buddies, your partners, you carry on. It is that simple. Once you get to that kind of money, it is that simple, just finding the people. But as far as diversifying, I am not. At $250,000, once I've worked my way back up there, I've done everything that I just said that I was going to do. I have that base. I am not diversifying. It is not. I mean, you're either going to have one big ass basket of eggs, or you're going to have a whole lot of baskets with one egg in them. I want the big ass basket with eggs. I can't carry all this shit. I can't carry all these baskets with one egg and hope I don't drop something. Picture your money from here on out as an army of dollar bills. You've gotten $250,000 and you have a 250,000 man army. Now, if I start singling them out and they start branching off and going by themselves, they are weak. They will get their asses beat. But if I keep them together, piled up together, I have a force to be reckoned with. You feel me? I have a complete battle ram. You know, I mean, I have an army. So keep your money together. Keep your army together at this stage. Now, if we're talking 250 million, that's a whole nother ball game, man. Sure, diversify. Sure, go throw $1 million into gold. Go throw $1 million into silver. Go throw this, that. Sure, that's a whole nother ball game. But at $250,000 in 2024, 2025 America, or 2025 anywhere, you ain't got no money, man. It's a lot to you. You're playing the game. You got a big ass seed. You're starting to see the fruits of your labor pay off for real. But do not get excited thinking that you're rich and that you have money, because to be honest with you, $250,000 is 5 brand new trucks. $250,000 is a paid for cash, built in 1997 ranch style 3-bedroom home. That's $250,000. And you still got to go in and pull the wallpaper, clean up the carpet, and probably do a little bit of work on the outside, you know, so you don't even have enough to fix it up, but you got you a free place to live. That's $250,000. $250,000 is a shitty duplex, paid for cash. $250,000 is an even shittier with an infestation quadplex, fourplex, paid for cash, that you're going to need another $250,000 to rehab. The shitty duplex, you're going to need probably 50 to 100 grand to rehab. The $250,000 ranch style home, you're going to need $25,000, $30,000 to rehab, as long as it doesn't have that, and that's paid for cash. I'm just giving you a mindset of what $250,000 is right now. So do not diversify. Keep your army together, because they are much stronger. So you want to figure out what you're interested in doing for the long haul. Say, hey, man, what can I stomach? That's important. And what can I do for the next, 5 years to grow this money? Your best bet is real estate. Your best bet is to start flipping. If you're trying to grow this money, it is not to be a landlord. When you're a landlord, everybody makes it sound like that's the great way to wealth. It is. You're trying to grow, brother. Your way to grow is not being a landlord. Okay? Being a landlord is planting a seed and waiting 30 years to get it back, or 15 years, or whatever you feel like waiting. But I'm trying to grow this. I'm trying to take this 250 to $1 million. So if I start 2025 with 250, I want to end 2025 a millionaire. You understand? That's my thought process, and it can be done. I swear, I'm not talking shit for anybody out. Listen, this can be done. Taking $250,000 and turning it into $1 million in 1 year is not that difficult. When you have the money, the difficult part is to get there to the money. But when you have that money, just flip, 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 flip. You don't even have to do anything. You're the guy on the phone making the phone calls, making sure people are showing up doing what the hell they're supposed to be doing, and making sure the place gets finished and sold on time. You're project managing. That's what I've done multiple times. You're just a project manager. So if you had the gumption to get yourself to 200K, 250K, then I'm sure that you got the drive to project manage your 250K and flip it into more money. That is my goal. I want to flip, flip, flip. I do not want to diversify in anything. Diversification is for pussies, plain and simple. When you're a big dog, diversify. But when you're a little MFer down here at the bottom with 250,000, you better keep that army together because they're a lot stronger together. So I hope that helped, man. I hope that answered your question. So when you ask me, what am I doing, guys? I'm in this for the long haul. I'm taking my 250. I'm trying to own the railroad. I'm trying to own your community's grand and sand to gravel. I'm looking at things like that. I'm projecting myself to own those things. And I'm going to have to flip myself to real estate to get there. Real estate is not the end goal for me. Not at all. That's not for me. Some people love it. I just want to get in, get my money, and get the hell out. I don't want to play games with it. I don't want that. I want a constant return on my investment. Dan Pena said it the best in the interview I listened to him say. He said, I don't care about a return on my investment. I want a return of my investment. And what he meant was, if I give you $250,000, I want my $250 back plus some equity and whatever you got going on. So I want my $250 back plus 10 grand a month for loaning it to you. And I want a stake in your company. So that, things like that are, it's a good starting point, a good foundation. I just felt like telling you guys that. I hope everybody understands what I'm saying. I'm not diversifying right now. I don't think you should either at that level. You're just now playing the game. You're on the board. You're about to start running, man. Don't split up your army. You're getting ready to start fighting. Do not split those guys up. The only way I would split them up is if I had a group of rogue warriors that were getting ready to walk off and go to battle and secure something. Sorry, guys, man, it's killing me. And secure something along the way. And that would be like, if I had 250 grand and then I saw a cheap house for, whatever, or I saw a fast car that I knew I could flip. Like, man, I can grab this car for, $5,000. I know I could sell it for $7,500 and be gone in a week. Yeah, I might send out some rogue warriors, a group of Rangers or special forces to freaking go over there, grab that car, flip it, get it gone, and come right back in a week. You understand? I might do something like that, something quick, but I'm not going to take 50 grand here and 50 grand there. I'm not doing none of that. It's going to hinder you. It's going to freaking hold you back. I'm not doing that at all. So I hope that helped. I hope that answered your question. I hope that really did. Ghost Trucker X asked me, I do, man. I hope that answers your question. I hope that gives you a better understanding. Ghost Trucker X asked me, do you believe in other markets? It's good to buy rental properties, or do you think it's best to wait because the markets are high? I know you mentioned Detroit and St. Louis, but just want your thoughts. When I get another 100K, I'm probably going to strike. Okay, check it out. This episode is going to be a little bit longer. I hope you guys don't mind, but we're going to run with it. Yes, I do believe in other markets. I watch everything. You need to be a full-blown economist. You need to look at lumber. You need to look at real estate. You need to look at the stock market to see what stocks are doing. You need to look at Coca-Cola. You need to look at Boeing. You need to look at everything, man, everything. What are you good at? I stay away from tech. I mean, not major tech on a major scale for sure. Microsoft, Apple, things of that nature for sure. Yeah, definitely. I look at them. But like tech startups and things, brother, you'd have to be legit. I mean, you'd have to come to me presented. I mean, it'd be like an episode of Shark Tank in here for you to want me to invest in something tech. I would have to see the value in it. I just don't. I'm old school. I I need to be able to point my finger at somebody. I need to be able to cuss somebody out for doing wrong. I need to be able to touch, smell, taste, hold whatever I have going on. I'm old school, man. I need tangible assets. I do. To you younger guys, I see the value, in Bitcoin. I know money is being made there. I see the value in online startups and applications and programs. I see it. We live in a digital world. It's a way to get out to the masses. It's a way to secure your money from the government. I see it. I hear you. I'm just old school. Okay. I can't be any more clearer than that. I just can't. I am always going to look at things that I can whoop somebody's ass over for fucking up my money. That's just the truth. Something happens to Bitcoin. Where am I going? You understand? Where am I going? I'm going to fly over to Japan, just start swinging on folks, whoever made it. Well, you know what I'm saying? Where am I going? So I'm always going to look at the railroad. These things are not going to die no time soon. I'll be an old man when they're gone. I'll be a maybe, man, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe I wake up at 70 and the railroads in the United States are closed and something happens and maybe I'm the guy that brings them back. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? All right. So, I mean, I think about things like that because we're moving very fast. So it wouldn't surprise me if I didn't wake up at 70 years old, you know, with the last little bit of oomph in my life and the railroads are shut down and there's a call for, you know, some type of logistical movement. And then, hey, man, go dust off the tracks, knock the rust off of them and bring it back. Who knows? I don't know, but I could see things like that happening. Those are things that I do think about. And it's not me living in a dream fantasy land. It's me being realistic with myself. We're moving so fast, but people can't keep up. Look at us right now. Look at us right now, how fast we're moving with technology that the human cannot keep up. So do not, I repeat with every fiber of my being, do not skip or sleep on those old school tried and true methods because they will go nowhere. They might shut them down, but they will be back. You can shut down the pipelines all you want and scream that we're going electric all you want. I see the value in it. But you know what? That's the same shit they said. You have my word on this. I want you guys to know you hear it here first. Horse and car will share the road again. Man will have to go back to horseback. It's going to happen. You're going to see it happen. I don't know if we'll be old, but somebody on here is going to see that happen in their lifetime, that man and horse will ride the road again with vehicles. It's going to happen. I believe 100% the horse will come back. I really do. We can't keep up. We're not keeping, no matter how good they make it look with all these little things. Yes, there's a select few that are doing great, but the average people, us right here, cannot keep up with technology. So you don't need to try to. What you need to try to do is save the rest of the world. You don't need to try to be the next inventor or the next creator. You need to be the guy that says, hey, man, I'm going to go plow these fields. I'm going to be the guy that says, hey, I'm going to take care of this livestock. There is a lot of money in that, especially right now. Those old school, they're dying arts. If you know how to shoe a horse, that's a dying art. Think we're not going to need them? If you know how to farm. Sorry, guys, man. I'm sorry about that. It's very aggravating. If you know how to freaking farm, if you know how to woodwork, guys, you have my word. And Ghost Trucker, I'm going to get right back to you, but you have my word. The typewriter will come back. You're going to see these kids wanting to learn how to use it and wanting to learn how to, because you're just going to, you have my word. So if you have those old school skills, if somebody taught you how to sew, how to knit, start running classes. Start running classes. Your first classes are going to suck. Start doing mock classes. You know what mock is nobody's freaking there, or you do pretend classes and you sit down and start running that. You start doing pretend classes. I guess I used to do mock shows before I ever thought about doing shows. 'Cause I used to tell my son, like, man, if I had a YouTube channel, I'd be doing this, and I would sit here and I would sit there and tell him things that I would do and how I would work with the lights and all this stuff. That's very annoying. I'm really sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it'll get over with soon. But I used to tell my son all these things about what I would do, and now I'm sitting there kind of doing it. So please do not skip on those old school methods. And to you young guys, go learn them. Learn how to be a carpenter, heating and air. Blue collar workers are becoming millionaires now because they can basically charge what they want. You know, you're not going to get what you want working for somebody else, but don't go to college to learn heating and air. Just go get a job in heating and air and apprenticeship under that person and learn. And there you go. Don't go to college to learn welding. Just go get a job, apprenticeship, start at the bottom and learn. So there's plenty of things you could do. That's why I tell you guys, man, don't chase money, chase success. Blue collar workers are becoming millionaires every day. They're paving the way because it's a dying art and people have not wanted to do it. And so now we're in a situation where people need it. So keep going with that. Again, Ghost Trucker said, do you believe in other markets? Is it good to buy rental properties? No, I'm not messing with rental properties. Or do you think it's best to wait because the markets are high? The markets are way too high. So I don't know when. I told you we're not going to see any relief until 2030. And I really believe that. And I stand by that. And, you know, I'm not an economist. In a way, I'm an economist. But I don't like to be the fear mongerer spreading, oh, it's going to crash. And I don't like doing all that crap. We're in hard times. I don't believe the economy is going to crash. If it crashes, then we're going to end up, you're going to way more, guys. If you want to know about the economy crashing, we can definitely talk about that at some point. But I'm not messing with rental properties. Before anybody gets invested in rental properties, when I lived down in Atlanta, a man told me, a big ass landlord down there, he owned about 300-400 houses. He told me, he said, before, and I talked to him and he said, before you get involved in this game, you need to go sit in eviction court and make sure it's right for you. Well, I took his advice and I went and I sat in eviction court and it was not right for me. These people destroy homes. I mean, it's not everybody, but a mass majority destroy homes. They don't want to pay. They do everything. It wasn't for me. Being a landlord is not for me. It's a slow way to get your money back. All right. Being a landlord is a savings account. You need to look at it like that. It is not a way to make money. It is a savings account. And eventually you will draw on that home. You will sell that home and draw it. So, that's how I look at rental properties. Being a landlord, I put my money into a home. It's a savings account. I have my credit tied up in this home. And once it gets paid down enough, I can reuse my credit. You know, I look at it like that. So I'm not really interested in being a landlord. I'm trying to grow this money as fast as I possibly can. So if you get up to 100K, man, I would think about what I said earlier in this video. And you said, I know you mentioned Detroit and St. Louis, but just want your thoughts. Okay, yeah, that's it, man. And my thoughts, the reason about Detroit and St. Louis is exactly what it is. The housing there and the land is so cheap because they're dangerous cities. Gentrification will come through. Detroit will be the next south side of Chicago. South side of Chicago is still rough, but there's some neighborhoods there that have just been built up. So once you see all the white kids bring a coffee shop, you know that neighborhood's about to change, man. Once you start seeing these little kids roll through with skateboards and coffees, go invest. Go invest because it's about to change. The market's about to shift in that community. So yeah, no, man, I'm definitely all over the board. Everything kind of ties into what we just talked about in this whole video. I'm not buying rental properties. I'm staying away from it. When I get to 100K, hopefully you've done all your due diligence before and go back, which we basically covered everything in this video, man. The way money goes, I want everybody to stop overthinking inflation. Okay, they printed a bunch of money, and so now everything's high. Once they start taking money back off the board, things will drop again. They're not going to take money back. How do they take money back off the board? They burn it. That's where you get, your oh God, where you guys know what I'm talking about. You got that center. They got a few of them around the country. Got them in Washington, D.C., Los Angeles is like a Federal Reserve. You got a major one in St. Louis, and they take the money in there and they start burning it. They burn the old bills and keep the new ones out. So you're going to watch a currency change. And by currency change, I mean you're going to watch the pictures on think of everything. Think of when you were a kid. Or when you find an old $20 bill from the 90s, how you know it's smaller, it's older. I got some old money, like Civil War money and stuff, I'll pull out and show you guys sometime. But think of everything with the currency. So how they've changed it, the new striping, the new strips. You know, they're going to bring out I just saw in the headlines, they're going to bring out the Harriet Tubman $20 bill. You know, so when the currency changes, that's what I'm talking about. They're going to change the picture. They're going to change the graphics. That way it can't be scammed. People can't keep on counterfeiting it, make it a little more difficult. And so they'll burn all the old ones. So you're not going to see this happen. And it's crazy that I saw this Harriet Tubman video because they're projected to release that in 2028. I told you guys you're not going to see any relief until 2030. So they're going to bring out the new $20 bill and a new $100 bill in 2028. They're going to start burning all the old ones. So 2 years of collecting and burning, and you'll start to see relief in 2030. That's the way this works, guys. So don't overthink inflation. You're trying to get to the math of all this shit, and there's not really that complicated. They printed a bunch of money, and now they got to take the money off the table. So, but for them to have printed a bunch of money, how do they get the money back? Is through interest rates. So yeah, the Fed squeezing, the Fed lowered. Fuck all that. I don't care. I don't care one bit. All I know is there's an ass ton of money out there. So everything's went up. And the only way for it to go down is for them to scrape that money back off the table and drop everything back down once that money's gone. That's the simplest form that I can't be any more clear than that. That is the simplest form of inflation right there. The simplest. They printed a bunch. They need to take it back. And in the meantime, everything is high as hell but your wages never went up. That's why it's so hard for people. Your wages have never went up. So that's what makes it very difficult for the common man. That's why it's best to work for yourself if you're able to, because then you can adjust for inflation. So I hope I answered you guys' questions. I hope that helped. I hope I got what we needed. I had some articles I wanted to read to you guys real quick. Donald Trump vows no state in America will be allowed to ban gas-powered cars. I'm telling you guys, man, Donald Trump is your last American president. I know some people don't like to hear that, but he is literally, and I don't know if somebody's going to come after him or not. I can't see the future, but at this moment, he is the last American president that I see on the board. And I ain't saying he's the best. I'm not saying he's the greatest, but I'm telling you, he is the last. He is the last of the tycoons. He is the last. He is the last collection of the Carnegies. Donald Trump is the last to the past. And I know some people don't like that, but he is the last. He is the last of the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, all those guys. He is the last. So he's the last living legend. And he is your last American president. That's why he fights so hard for the auto industry. That's why he's fighting so hard for gas and oil. I mean, he sees what America's about. The rest, I'm going to have to say everybody else so far that I see is corporate owned. Even Vance, I don't know, but maybe Vance is shifting gears. I mean, I'm still a little skeptical, but I'm watching the guy. I'm watching him. And then another one I got is I got a surprise property tax bill that I knew nothing about, and now I owe $50,000 and will probably lose my home. What can I do? That's deep. That's deep. What you should do is you should walk down to your county tax office, leg sweep that sumbitch, and hit him in the mouth. That's what you should do. That's deep. Because to be honest with you, man, and that's what's sad. That's why I tell people you don't own anything anymore. Because whenever you have something that they want, they're going to freaking just hit you with things that are almost uncontrollable for you. So you need to go hire an attorney. That's what you got to do. You need to go hire an attorney and go from there, because I cannot give you the legal advice on that. I know what I would do. I know what I would do. I would start welding up a tractor or a backhoe or something. You guys, yeah. I'd weld the window shut on my backhoe, man. I ain't got one, but I'd weld the window shut. I'd weld up a dump truck and roll it through county city hall. But no, man. So no, that you need to hire an attorney. Plain and simple, hands down. That guy needs to get you an attorney, man. So anyways, hey, this ran a lot longer than it was supposed to. I hope you guys don't mind the long, the long morning show. I hope you guys don't mind that. I hope you guys have a great freaking day. I'm going to go ahead and jump off here and get my day started. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here with me. You take care. All right.